Hi everyone, I'm Tom and today I'm going to be showing you the eRaptor wooden insert for role player and expansion. And, well, really, the front of this tells you all you need to know, so this is going to be a very short video. The eRaptor do inserts, if you haven't seen my videos before on them, that don't need any glue. Most of the pieces have these nice little snappy plug jigsaw pieces that, the pieces in the middle might just sit in slots, but the walls and a lot of other pieces actually snap together, so you build them pretty quickly, especially inserts like this. And there are also more elaborate ones that you'll be able to see, like the Black Angel one. There'll be a video for as well. Anyway, they come in a little cardboard box like this. They are full of wooden punch boards like this. Oh, whoops, that's the next one started then. And instructions like this, showing you how to put them together, where each piece comes from the punch boards and where it goes in the piece that you are making at the moment. So my role player right now, I will say, does include another expansion since this insert got made that doesn't fit in the box. Insert or not, it doesn't all fit in this small box now. But see, I've just got it all in just a load of bags, big bag of dice. And then in the new expansions box, I've got pretty much the player boards, the character boards, the familiar boards, and all of that stuff. So I imagine that they're going to have to stay in this box. But the insert was designed for the game and the first expansion. So I'll show you how it all fits together. So we've got this nice tray to start with that will go out on the table as you're playing, because a lot of this you will need during the game. I'll say that the second expansion came with a lot of the tokens that the first expansion came with, and they still mostly fit in here. There's too much money, but in terms of all of the extra injury and honor tokens, obviously this doesn't matter if you just got one of the expansions, but I think it's pretty cool that it fits all of the extra combat dice and everything in there. So as well as that, we've got the first card tray. So in here, I am putting the market cards, and this is from both expansions as well. So we've got market cards 1 and 2, and then we've got the class cards and the backstory cards I've put together here. But they all fit nicely in there. Now, I will say that my cards aren't sleeved. The eRaptor inserts do fit sleeved cards in, but bearing in mind that it was designed just for the first expansion, your mileage may vary. Next card tray fits all of the combat dice in there. All of the alignment cards go in this big chunk. And then for each monster in the game, we have these cards. We have some attack, obstacle, and location cards for each of the monsters. And so there is a nice little slot for each of the monsters that are included in the Monsters and Minions expansion. Now again, because I am doubling up with both of the expansions, thanks to the fact that I haven't sleeved the cards, I can fit in both of the sets of cards for the monster of that colour in each of the dividing sections quite nicely. Now, Fiends are a completely new thing to the Fiends and Familiars expansion, which again, this wasn't designed for. It's a little bit too big for this extra slot here, so they're going to have to go somewhere else. But this slot is perfect for the reminders of how you can spend XP and gold. So I'll put those in the last slot there. So that one's done. Next up, we've got this tray here. And if you've played, maybe you know what these are for already. We've got space for all of the monster cards. And they fit in the nice tool cards, as well as monster cards. We've got the player aids stroke score sheets that can go in there as well, because they are that size. This gives us a spare slot, and that's plenty of room for the minion cards, and enough room as well to slot in the fiend cards there. So even though this wasn't designed for both expansions, it fits all of this in really nicely. So this is the Call to Adventure card for the second expansion, and all your initiative cards can fit in there as well. And then finally, we've got this tray here, which is for dice. So the dice just come in this bag, and this is maybe the one part that I wouldn't go for in using it as my insert. So the dice just pile in here, and although there are extra dice included in that second expansion, I have tried, and this little tray doesn't fit all of the dice from the base game and the first expansion, even if you don't include the boost dice that came with that first expansion. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's all nice and done. There you go, just to show it all fitting in and nice there. So if you can see this from this angle, that these trays here are slightly raised from the box, so the lid is always going to be a little bit raised here, but there is space in this section now for your character sheets. And so 4 character sheets came with the second expansion, so I'll leave those to one side for now. So you can see that all of the sheets that came with the base game and the first expansion do fit in here really nicely, and are raised just as much as those other 2 trays are. If you can see, I just don't want to tip all of the dice everywhere, but yeah, it wouldn't raise the lid anymore, so it's just raised a little bit. Now, obviously, with this second expansion, it's going to raise the box 4 boards more, but then you've got the familiars as well that you can lay out, you know, where you could you fit even 4 rows of those in there? It's still going to raise the box even more, probably too much for me. Reiterate, this was designed for just the first expansion. If you are lucky enough to have the big box that came with the second Kickstarter, or the second expansion's Kickstarter, then maybe this would all fit together nicely in that. But I would probably keep the dice in the bag if I could slot the bag in there instead. Okay, actually, that worked pretty well. No, I've got everything in the box already and then slotted the bag in there. I did need some poking around of the dice, but that's all of the dice from both expansions fitting in there. So really, I'm really pleased with how it's fit. An expansion that it wasn't designed to fit in there. The lid is raised as much as it would be if you just had the one expansion inside. I've still got, you know, the familiar boards and everything, so I'll have to keep these in the extra box for now, but hey, there'll be more expansions, I'm sure, in the future, and the character sheets that came with that second expansion, and my bag of don't use these cards anymore in the new expansion, because they were replaced rather than for any bad reason. But yeah, that is the eRaptor wooden insert for Role Player, and its first expansion, but it can fit almost everything from the second expansion in there too, which is a massive plus for me, because yeah, it's the one thing about all of the extra stuff for Role Player, as much as I'd loved it, it had turned into a lot of bags and what's in this and where is it all. And yeah, it's a sleek-looking solution for fast setup and a lovely tray to have out on the table, which I know is covered up by stuff, but a lovely tray to have out with all of your XP and gold and that everyone can reach for. So there we go. That is the eRaptor insert for Role Player and its expansion. Heavy box. It was fairly heavy before, but of course, a wooden insert. Going to make it a bit heavier. There you go. Have a look at it if you would like. Check out my other videos about eRaptor inserts. There are videos up there already from previous ones, but the new batch will be for Role Player and Aeon's End and Black Angel. And you can have a look at my playthroughs of these games if you don't know about them and you are now intrigued. There are multiple playthroughs for Role Player on the channel for its original game and with all of the expansions turned on, and for Aeon's End as well. Hopefully Black Angel one day. But hey, that's for another day. I will see you for the next game. Thank you very much for watching. Bye, everyone.